Hi, welcome to Twin Takeaways. I'm Akira.
And I'm Aurora.
And this is today we have Luffy up here with us again. And today we got some spooky stories. So mine's going to be from a little bit of ghost stories. I also have a paranormal and a Let's Not Me. What do you have for us today, Aurora?
I got today some a creepy people you don't want to meet on the internet.
Yeah.
I got a creepy no sleep VHS story and then some long haul truck driver stories.
Oh, I like it. I'm excited. Especially for the VHS one because give me the movie VHS.
VHS.
I'm kind of excited. Especially because now they're about to have a new one coming out soon. So I'm ready to get into the. So go ahead with your first story.
I think you're talking about last year came out.
Oh, did it? The second
Yeah.
one? The new one?
The Netflix one.
Maybe. Well, shoot. Thanks for reminding me. I probably should rewatch it. I should probably watch it then.
Okay, so my first story is from the Spoopy Sea Jades, posted by Snow on the Beach. They said they won't stop until I am theirs. For context, I was in 10th grade, sophomore year, and I just started dating my boyfriend at the beginning of the school year in November. This happened in April, May. I was at home and I decided to check my Instagram DMs. Keep in mind, at this point, I don't have a ton of followers, maybe around 500, and my account was private, only followed by people I have mutuals with or know directly. So I was just checking my requested DMs because I noticed that I got a notification saying somebody wanted to send me a DM. Keep in mind, this was around the time where loyalty tests were being done on couples on TikTok. So I opened this request DM and it was a message from a girl saying the classic, "Hey girlie, I don't know how to say this, but your boyfriend and I had a thing going on. I didn't know that he has a girlfriend because he never told me. Just thought I should let you know." Or something along those lines. It's been 4 years. I didn't believe the girl because at this point my boyfriend has always been with me. And when he wasn't, he was with his parents. Drove him everywhere because he had no license and he was taking Taekwondo every night. But of course I asked him what this was about and he obviously, like I already knew, said, "No, that was just someone messing with me." So I typed back quick, "LOL, nice try," and moved on with my day. Well, this made them upset. They were spamming me and trying to make me believe that it was true and that he was cheating on me, and said that she even knew his name. His name was in my bio, LOL. So after I did some stalking on her profile, I Google reverse searched image every one of her pictures and saw she was catfishing as a big TikToker at the time. Can't remember her, so I called her out on it and obviously she denied all the claims. Sorry this is long, BTW anyways. My boyfriend ended up messaging her on his account saying to leave me alone and ask who she is and how she knows me. At this point, I started getting scared because her response. So I'm thinking at this point that she wants my boyfriend instead. She wants me. Keep in mind, I'm straight and everyone I went to school with knows that. She kept saying to my boyfriend that I'm hers and I just don't realize it yet. To which my boyfriend replies, "She's not yours." Keep in mind, I'm literally 15 and this is my first boyfriend. The girl then spams messages saying she'll do anything to get me. I won't stop until she's mine. That still creeps me out to this day. And proceeded to say the N word over and over again on a voice recording. They sounded like they were literally 12, but almost it was like a voice changer. Needless to say, I got creeped out and told my boyfriend to block this account, and I did the same. Flash forward a month or two later, I get an actual text on my phone from a number with a picture of a selfie taken by a grown woman with the following text: "I know we haven't talked in a while. Did you miss me?" I freaked out and blocked the number and never heard anything since. The account is still up, but it's unused now. This could just be chalked up to somebody pranking me or somebody who knows me trying to break us up. But at 15, this scared the crap out of me. And yes, I'm still with my boyfriend almost 4 years later, so now I'm scared to open my request DMs ever since. LOL. So the person who tried to catfish me and tell me they won't stop until I'm theirs, I hope we never meet or text again.
Ew, that's so gross. When she said it was a girl with the picture, that took me out. That's disgusting. That's
Just a
crazy
crazy
though.
old grown woman.
Yeah, dude. And like it's crazy, and like I feel like it probably wasn't someone from real life. I bet you it was like actually a grown person because like that is a big thing that's always happened from the time the internet started. Is like grown people trying to get kids and like do weird things like that, and they do get really really possessive, more than like kids get. Like young people can get possessive. This should be like around 15, but not in like a really intense creepy way. I feel like that. I've had people be weird and creepy in an extent, but kids usually can get over it, especially like young boys or girls can like they just kind of like move on.
Mm-hmm.
Like you kind of move on in a certain way, but when you're like older, you get in this like mindset that's like more stalkery and like creepy. So I wouldn't be surprised at being someone old. I wouldn't be surprised. I guess fully it was a kid, but I'd be more surprised as a kid over an adult. I feel like it'd be an adult, especially after that picture. It's really solidifying that it's probably an adult. Like
Yeah.
someone being weird like that.
For me, it was giving like those creepy like phishing texts where it's like, because I used to get a bunch of those for a while there,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like a random chick's picture and it was like, hey, weren't we gonna meet up?
Yeah. Facts.
And I was
Yeah.
like, first off, I don't know you. Second off, I
I
always
don't know you.
know
That's what matters.
exactly. I don't know you. Um, the other thing is, like, I already know it's a spam because I have a different number than like any state I've lived in anytime recently.
Facts.
So already I'm like, fake, fake.
Yeah. Facts.
Because if any of those people from way back when living in that state were trying to reach out to me, they'd probably reach out to me on Facebook
Yeah. Yeah.
or
Cause
Instagram or, one of those things.
yeah, I wouldn't think they would know my number
Mm-hmm.
like that. That's I don't like it. But I'm glad that she trusted her boyfriend enough to like be because like sometimes those things like you gotta be like send me like legit looking proof. I know you can
Yeah.
AI a lot of things, but there's gonna be something that feels off about an AI picture of like proof than like anything else. And you need proof, especially in today's world. Because
Oh,
it could be
yeah.
someone just trying to break y'all up too. Because there's this stories on Reddit where like friends are just trying to break up their people for some reason,
That or, like she said,
some
for a while
way.
there was a TikTok trend where it was like, just text somebody.
Yeah,
He's
facts.
cheating, this, that,
Yeah, it's
whatever.
funny.
Yeah.
LOL, LOL. So like, there's a lot of different reasons. So I would definitely would been like, can you send me proof?
Mm-hmm.
Not just you know his name.
Yeah.
If you know I or you like think you know who I am, I'm pretty sure you like know his name.
Yeah.
You're telling me there's not a single picture I've tagged him in. Or like that,
Well,
like he's in her
yeah,
bio.
if I've never posted
Like,
about him, then yeah, I might be like, you must go to my school or
yeah,
you're really creeping on me.
yeah. Because even though, like, if you think it's someone at your school, they're gonna know your boyfriend
And
is.
the name.
So they're gonna know his name. Like the name is like the least like telling evidence
Yeah.
you could have.
And then already it's in my
Like,
bio, the one
yeah,
thing you can see on the locked profile. Dude,
yeah.
come on now.
Seriously,
Come on,
come on,
son.
come on, bruh. It ain't it, man. It ain't it. It ain't adding up. You
Mm-mm.
need better proof than that. Right. Let's go from that to some ghost stories. Or should I do after that one? Should I do another Let's Not Meet and then get the two Let's Not Meet to the beginning? What's
No, you
your
can do a
vibe?
ghost story.
Okay. Just wanted to see if you wanted to keep it going with the same vibe or switch up the vibe. So we'll switch up for now. So let's go to ghost stories. And it's going to be posted by Overall Opinion 999. And it's called I'm Actually Traumatized by This. Hey everyone, I wanted to share something that happened to me last year. I was talking with my nephew's mom in the kitchen when out of nowhere I noticed something looking in through the window. She saw me staring and looked over too. As soon as our eyes met, we both looked back at the entity. It bent down and disappeared. We rushed to tell my dad, but by the time we got there, no one and or nothing was around. After that, I saw it a few more times, always in the same spot where we first saw it. It looked like a human, but with no face, just
Ugh.
smoky and transparent line like figure. The fourth and fifth time I saw it, it was when things were really started getting creepy. I was sitting in the kitchen eating dinner by myself when, out of the corner of my eye, I noticed something looking through the bushes by my window. Exactly the same as what I had seen with my nephew's mom. After that, I saw it about 5 more times in the same spot. Every time it appeared, I didn't have my phone. And every time when I was alone is when it had shown up. This all happened between October to December, so it was a span of a good amount of time. I talked to my parents and my family about it. And as for my dad, I'm not sure if he really believed. He did say he thought I saw something, but he wasn't sure what it was. He and my younger brother, who's grown, decided to wait and see for themselves. Unfortunately, every time they did that, it did not come. The second to last time I saw it, my mom and younger sister are around, and I noticed it and yelled, "Look behind you!" They got really scared and went, "Hell no!" So they didn't see it. After that experience in November, I went almost 3 weeks without seeing it. Then the final time I saw it, it was actually on my sister's birthday. My younger sister and I were in the kitchen, and I was sitting in my usual spot when I spotted the creepy figure in the bush. Again, but this time it stood about 7 feet tall. Started walking this time. Still looked smoky and transparent, but it had hair and eyes of a skeleton and no shape, but no actual face or body. Yelling at my sister to look, she said no and started running away. I followed, but also screaming because what the F? Ran into my parents' room. I never called my mom mommy or mama. And I didn't even realize I screamed mommy until she had told me afterwards because I was shaking so bad. I promise my sight went black and my hearing was gone due to the fear when I had watched it all do that. After this, I haven't seen it, and recently my parents have moved. So that makes me feel a lot better.
Chills.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you. First off, I thought I was gonna be like a shadow person already. Don't like those. But I've never seen them like duck down. I've normally just always seen videos of them like walking. And when I've seen them, I've only seen them walking. But then like to be ducking down in bushes and stuff is crazy. And then you now know it's more likely like a cryptid if it had hair and everything. I don't know.
Maybe.
It wasn't really screaming paranormal after that. But I mean, I guess he'd still be paranormal. But either way, that's freaking me out.
Yeah.
Like if I saw it like stand up and it was 6 feet tall and I was like looking up at it.
7. Even worse.
Yeah, 7 feet tall. Yeah, I'd also probably black out and just start fighting for life.
Yeah, dude. Heck no.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
One comment says, "What in the world is up with all these sightings of 7 feet tall beings lately?" A person commented back, "They made themselves taller because girls like tall guys."
Um,
I
not,
don't know about the
not,
skulls with like a little bit hair or like no face.
yeah, I don't
Uh,
think my guys have no face and like are shadowy people. I just don't think that's like my type.
but I guess each their own.
But I mean, like, I guess. I mean, he's in finance, blue eyes, maybe.
Exactly, bro. Someone said, "Don't you freaking dare." Just a few days ago at my job, I was talking to my coworker and he went pale and gasped, making me jump. We were in our small workroom, with a glass pane and a hallway on the other side. I asked what was wrong. He said he saw a 7 foot pale figure walk by for a moment. FML. We work night shifts too. And
These things are just out.
yeah, bro. Yeah, it looks like they're everywhere, bro. But yeah, and then the original post, the OP posted, the text message back to them. The thing I saw usually came around 8:34 p.m., so it was still pretty early. And someone put, "Your friend was tired, and it caused him to see a brief hallucination." I don't know, man, because 8:34 is kind of weird too, because like it's really not that late. Like it's some places it's not even fully dark yet, depending on
Well,
what
I
time of
mean, if it
year.
was like a couple months
Well, I
ago.
guess winter. Never mind, winter will be dark then. JK, JK, JK,
But
JK.
either way,
But either way, that's still not that late. Like usually it's like Night night. But still, yeah, this
Why are all
person's
these
seen in his
things coming
office.
out?
I don't know,
Ah!
because yeah, a lot of people were seeing these 10-foot creatures everywhere. Something's going
This
down,
is
and
why I
it's
just don't look out
crazy.
into the darkness.
No, never. Don't look be looking out no windows.
No.
But I guess most people weren't even looking in the darkness. It sounds like it went past like their office like
Yeah, in their
windows.
actual office.
Ew. Nah, dog. Ain't me.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I quit working there that day.
Yeah, dude.
Sorry, I can't work here
Yeah.
anymore. You got something living here.
But someone said, you guys, it's not a hallucination because her nephew's mom saw it. So it was double corroborated. Two people can have the same hallucination at the same time. It's super unfortunate your other family wouldn't help you confirm the visual. That's
Yeah.
disappointing and unsupportive.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, kind of a bitchy.
Honestly, I'd be scared as hell, but I feel like if you said there's something creepy looking
Yeah.
like out, I feel like I would turn around so that you don't seem
Oh,
crazy and I can confirm it for you.
100%. I'll be your Luigi.
Yeah. Mario. Yeah, exactly, my guy.
I'm gonna still
I'll
look
be
for you though.
checking.
Because just like the Matrix things, I don't want to be the only person that sees this.
Yeah.
I need someone to be like, girl, I saw it too. You're not crazy. I saw it.
Yeah. I can't be seeming nuts and have to go to like an asylum or something.
Yeah, my poor sister. If it was you who was all, no, I'm not looking. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to grab your head and turn it.
Yeah.
No, girl, you gotta see this with me. I can't be the
Facts.
only one.
Exactly. I can't.
I can't.
Another person, the last comment I'll read is this next person is the fact that your family moved shortly after all of that makes me wonder if maybe they knew something was going on but didn't want to tell you. Yeah.
Yeah, your dad's like, I don't even believe in that stuff. But every night, he probably sees it and he's just looking down.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
Or he made eye contact and he's not gonna tell anybody because he got scared and he don't want to tell people he like probably shit himself. He's like, I'm gonna keep that, take that to the grave,
yeah,
my
he's
guy.
for sure just be like, no, it's nothing, it's nothing, it's nothing to keep you calm. But he's probably scared as hell.
Yeah, dude, he's pooping bricks right now, my guy.
All right, so my next one is No Sleep, posted by Horror Junkie 123. My father left me a set of VHS tapes when he passed away. The footage was disturbing. I was devastated when my dad died. I know it's cliche, but he was the best parent that I could have asked for. Though his health had been declining for a while, we knew that he didn't have long. It didn't make it any easier. I loved my father. I think that's part of what made the VHS tapes so shocking. I was visiting mom, taking a bit of time off from work to grieve, when she revealed them to me. Jeremy, I need to talk to you, she said, slowly taking a seat at the table. I rushed to help her into a chair, but she waved me off despite how bad her arthritis was. She was adamant that she was still just the same old nimble as a 19-year-old girl. Is something wrong? It sounded serious, I said once she had a chance to adjust herself. Mom's expression seemed bleaker than usual, grim even. She hadn't been the same after my dad's passing, but this was something else, something darker. Well, not exactly. Your father asked me to do this. He made me promise that if I outlived him, I was to give you these tapes. If it was up to me, I would have thrown them out ages ago. No one needs to know what's on them, but this was his dying wish, and I have to respect that. Mom nodded to a box lying on the kitchen table. I glanced at it, then turning back to her, unsure of what to make of her revelation. I. Okay, it's nothing illegal, is it? Mom, this is kind of freaking me out. She stared at the table before her eyes a contemplating mix of emotions. I can't say it for certain. A gnawing sense of unease began to twist my stomach into knots. All right, if they're that bad, I'm sure you won't want to watch them with me. Can I borrow your VHS player for a few days? I'll bring it back when I'm done. Yes, Jeremy, but please know before you watch those tapes that your father was a different man back then. I don't want those videos to change your perception of him. I took a deep breath considering her words. I can't promise anything without seeing them, but I hope they don't. I didn't watch the VHS tapes for months. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. If they were really that shocking, I didn't know if I ever wanted to see them. Mom didn't bring it up again, but she seemed different after that day. Every time she looked at me, I could see shame hiding beneath her gaze. I felt sorry for her. This wasn't her fault. Now I don't know how to feel. After half a year, I had completely forgotten about them. The tapes sat on my bookshelf, gathering dust, blending with the fixtures in the house. It was my girlfriend who reminded me that they were there. Jay, why do you have a box of VHS tapes? Have you been watching naughty videos behind my back? She huffed, crossing her arms. What? No, I haven't even seen those yet. I got them from my dad when he passed. Emma's look of suspicion melted away as her cheeks flushed with color. I'm so sorry. I wouldn't have brought him up if I'd known. Do you want to watch them together? I could. I know this has been a really rough time for you. I want to support you any way that I can. I mulled it over for a moment before making a decision. Thanks for the offer. I really appreciate you being here for me, but I think it's something I need to do alone. Emma pursed her lips and nodded before pulling me into her in a warm embrace. I watched the tapes that night. I decided that I'd been putting it off for too long. Best to get it over with, right? It took longer than I'd like to admit to get the VHS player to set up. It wasn't difficult, but technology I do not see eye to eye. I took a deep breath, and as I popped in the first tape, sank into my sofa and pressed play on the remote. The video began with a pitch black screen. A faint rustling followed before Dad came into frame. His face was too close to the camera. He placed his camcorder down before backing away. This is trial number 1. Jeremy, if you're watching, then I'm probably not around anymore. I don't think anyone is going to believe this. Hell, I don't know if I believe it myself, but I think I've caught my big break. If I'm right, then I may have found the cure to death. That's right, he grinned. I think I discovered the compound for immortality. Even though the poor quality, I could see a manic gleam in my father's eye. This man wasn't the same man who raised me. He couldn't be. Dad worked in medicine, but he had never uttered a peep out of any of this. And that expression, I barely recognized him. Dad stepped off screen for a moment. My heart dropped. Behind him, strapped to an operating table, was a child. Me. I was unconscious in my parents' basement, blissfully unaware of what my father was doing. I leaned forward, horrified yet morbidly curious. Dad walked back into frame, wielding a syringe filled with liquid, blacker than night. It was so dark that it seemed to consume the light surrounding it. Here it is, my magnum opus. If my theory is correct, this compound should have the ability to regenerate cells. In short, it should eliminate the possibility of death by natural causes. Cells will no longer wither away. In other words, the body will not age past maturity. I pray that this works. My heart hammered in my chest as Dad plunged the needle into my arm. Almost immediately afterward, my body began to writhe and convulse on the operating table. Dad's face dropped. He clearly hadn't anticipated that. The convulsions stopped as quickly as they began, much to his relief, but then my eyes shot open. They were completely black. A deep, inhuman crackling erupted from my lips. Dad went pale as a ghost. Thank you, I said in a voice that was not my own. You have given me a vessel, foolish human. The table shook violently, my arms and legs flailing in their constraints. I continued to crackle in that disturbing bellow as my dad watched helplessly. I hope you know what you've done. This child will never be rid of me. Never. I may lie dormant for years waiting until the time is right, but know that you've sealed his fate. Then the recording cut off. I stared at the blank screen, unable to comprehend what I had just witnessed. That was impossible. It had to be a skit or a fabrication. It couldn't accept that what I had just seen was real. I had to know the truth. I ejected the first tape from the VHS player and replaced it with the second one. I watched for hours. Every tape afterward was near replica of the one before it. Instead of trying to find the serum of immortality, Dad was attempting to cure me of my affliction. Each video played out the same way. He would explain what the drug was, why it was supposedly doing to work, and my body would writhe on the table. The demon or whatever ungodly creature that was would return and mock my father, with the video to end. By the time I reached my last tape, my hope was wearing thin. Dad had failed dozens of times, countless different injections, and no effect in reversing damage. My breath hitched in my throat as I pressed play on the final video. Jeremy, I'm sorry. I'm all out of ideas. What began as an experiment born out of love quickly soured into a curse that you have to bear. I never should have tried this. The guilt of my actions is eating me alive. He took a moment to wipe away the tears welling in his eyes. I don't know what else to do. I've been trying to fix my mistake for 12 years. You're going off to college in a few days, and without you living under my roof, I won't be able to conduct these experiments any longer. I'm sorry, son. I failed you. That was it. The video cut to black, and I was left to sit there and think about what I had just seen. It's been 4 months since. Over the past week, I've been blacking out. Huge chunks of my days have been disappearing from my memory without a trace. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but I think it's related to Dad's experiment. I don't know what it wants from me, but I'm terrified because I think that thing from the tapes has finally awakened.
Eesh. No. Like, I don't know what I exactly when he's under the immortality thing, but then to be taken over by like some kind of demon or something, crazy, bro. That'd be nuts.
Yeah, it seemed like maybe injecting him with like some kind of spirit or something.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was for sure giving venom.
Yeah.
It was giving venom.
Yeah. Which I mean, maybe you'll be like an anti-hero. I don't know. See what happens. But that's crazy, dude. People are just gonna think you have multiple personalities disorder
Yeah, pretty
because
much.
you black out and another thing takes over your body.
Yeah, and you're talking all kinds of nonsense.
Yeah.
And then like you said, like some of your features change. They're gonna
Yeah.
look like you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Hazing be like split, but
Yeah.
like a paranormal version of it because something got put in him.
Yeah.
That's crazy though. Yeah, that was spooky. And now like he awakened it by watching those videos. I'm like, damn, shouldn't have watched him, my guy.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Well, I mean, I don't know if that's what maybe awakened him. Maybe it's his dad's death that maybe awakened it. I don't know.
Well, he said since he started watching the videos, he's been missing chunks of time.
Mm.
So it's not like it was the videos. But
Well, he
also,
said 4 months after.
well, still.
Yeah, 4 months since the videos, and over the past week, he finally started blacking out and stuff.
Yeah, but still, almost after the videos. But can you imagine if he said yes for his like fiance, wife, his
I
partner?
think it was just a girlfriend.
Oh, girlfriend. His girlfriend. Imagine if his girlfriend watched it with him though, and then she'd be like,
Yeah.
I gotta go, man. I think she'd have been howdy.
So yeah, yeah,
Someone told me they were haunted and I was dating them. I'd be like, I'm good, thank you though. I'm so sorry.
yeah.
Care about you a lot, but it guts to go. It can't be on this. Can't be part of this
Unless you get that
content.
removed,
Gots to
gotta
go.
go.
Maybe go see a priest, and then we can talk after that. That's about it.
I'm gonna head out.
Exactly. Roll.
Top comment. Set up a camera. Try to see what it wants.
Good.
True.
Thank you. Maybe leave it like a note and leave
Yeah.
up a camera, and maybe we'll answer you.
Does your mom know exactly what he was doing? Maybe he has notes somewhere that can help you figure out something.
Maybe. Yeah. True. Because then you can maybe see like how he built it, how he tried to get rid of it.
Yeah, OP replied, that's a good point. I hadn't thought to ask her if he had any leftover notes or equipment. That'll definitely be my next course of action. And then that same person replied, if nothing else, maybe you can find out which demon is riding shotgun and maybe get him out with an exorcism if all else fails.
That's all I'm saying, bro. Be gone, be gone, be gone. By the
Exactly.
powers invested in me, someone gave me when I was locked up.
But looks like this person writes a lot of horror short stories, so maybe go check them out.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to do another one. There's, cause that was a good one. That was pretty freaky. Felt pretty like realistic, like it could actually happen. Like
Mm-hmm.
It was good. It was good. How you like question. Also like that they respond to comments like they're that person.
Yeah.
I kind of like
Yeah, I
that.
like that.
It's pretty cool and it really wraps you into the story.
Yeah, there was a few people who replied, and a lot of them were saying stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like go get an exorcism and stuff like that.
Yeah. Exorcism. All right. Now let's go on to another Let's Not Meet. And it's posted by Gannon. Someone entered my hotel room while I was in it. This is a completely true story and just happened an hour ago. Wanted to talk about it somewhere, and the only place I could think of was surprisingly this subreddit. For context, my wife and I are on vacation in Mexico. We both honestly are loving it here, and this situation doesn't change that, but I am reevaluating security. My wife and I went out to dinner and walked back to our hotel. We got inside our room, are setting things down, etc. A few minutes go by and there's a knock at the door. A man quietly says something in Spanish and an inflection that's trying to get our attention. Think room service or something. My wife looks at me like wondering who would be at the door. At this point, I should clarify that we did have the do not disturb tag on the door. A few seconds go by and there's another knock at the door. My wife signals for me to go to the door, so I go over. At this point, we've made no sound, and for probably a minute before the during the at this point we made no sound, probably for about a minute, and during the knocks, just as I reached the door, the key card unlocked the door and opened it. A dirty looking man had just opened the door and it was about 2 feet away from my face. I put my hands on the door to prevent it from opening any further. I think he was surprised as I was. He started speaking Spanish and I hear the word Wi Fi somewhere in there. I say, No habla español? In broken English. He tries to ask if there's Wi Fi, if the Wi Fi is down. My wife says it's not, and I'm just kind of shell shocked by what just happened and keep my hand on the door as he talks and eventually leaves. I shut the door and engage the physical lock this time. I usually do this, but we just had walked in and wanted to set the stuff down. I talked to my wife as we try to gather thoughts about what just happened. Essentially, a man knocked, got no reply, then let himself in and asked about Wi Fi. No, this was clear burglary attempt, and he has a master key card and thought we weren't home. A minute or two later, after this went down, we've collected ourselves, understood that what just occurred. I passed this information to the front desk in case this guy attempts other doors. They seem to take it seriously. No updates beyond that. The fact that this just happened has my mind kind of blown, and I don't know if we've fully processed it yet. We what if we were back 30 minutes later? Probably would have lost some stuff. 5 minutes later, we walk on a guy in our hotel room. What if we went to bed early tonight? Could have been asleep. The AC is loud, and I don't know if we would have heard the door knocking through my sleep. If it was going to go down, surely the way it did was optimal, but those ifs are crazy. I'll definitely be storing our valuables in the safe now. Should have done this too, but we just recently got there. Lesson learned, in the future, stuff is going immediately into the safe. Lock is getting immediately engaged.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, he was straight up trying to steal from me first off. Outside of that, that's like a huge fear of mine is for people to be able to get into my hotel room
Mm-hmm.
when I'm like, one, yeah, it's freaky if they get there when you're not there and steal a bunch of shit from you. Like that would suck. But that is my biggest fear to do when I'm there. And especially if like, yeah, if I'm sleeping or if I walked in on the guy stealing stuff from me, like who knows what he would have done, like self-defense or something. I was like, no, thank you.
Yeah, dude. Pass.
Wi-Fi? They got Wi-Fi? No, bro, get the hell out of my room.
Look, it's not a me question.
Go ask front desk.
Yeah, ask literally anybody who works here, my guy.
Let me
Ain't me.
let me walk you down a front desk and we can go ask while we call the cops.
Yeah, dude. Nah, G. I don't know how to walk down with them, but yeah.
Well, man, like, tell him that because then you could walk him down to front desk and be like, this guy tried to get in my hotel room.
I'm gonna guess, but what if he like has like a weapon just in case he ran into somebody? That's why this guy didn't want to like open the door all the way. I think she's like, it's better to be safe than sorry and have them like attack you. So I don't know. I don't think I would go out, but I guess teach their own. But one of the top comments is, "This is terrifying. I would request an update from a manager because that's terrifying. A friend of mine had a similar situation with an Airbnb where the lock on the door didn't work. Luckily, Airbnb refunded within an hour after receiving proof. Stay safe." OP, I will update this post if I hear anything new. I don't know what to expect from Mexico slash how serious something like this would be taken, but it's a nice hotel for the area. I certainly never would have expected something like this to happen. Like I said, valuables are going into the safe immediately now. And they haven't given an update, and it's been posted for 12 days, so I bet you there's really not going to be an update. But
Yeah. But yeah, that's why I don't know about Airbnbs. Airbnbs freak me out. Like I
yeah,
still stay in them,
but they do give
but
me the heebie
they do
jeebies.
give me the heebie-jeebies. And then whenever I'm in them, like before I take a shower, I do the checks in the drain and then the shower head to see if cameras are there
Say,
because that is huge fear.
yeah.
Yeah, because I've seen some crazy TikTok videos of people in Airbnbs and people are just coming in and out because, I mean, it's owned by a person who has the key.
Facts. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy stuff.
Some of them have like those weird crawl spaces. They don't even need the key. Ew, it's creepy.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Someone said, "You sent me and my husband down a rabbit hole." Apparently, this is fairly common in Mexico. Here's an article we read. They posted an article on there. So if anybody wants to look at that, there's an article on there that they posted. Thanks for sharing this. Absolutely crazy that they pull this off. When you're asleep, I guess part of why this scared me is that while clearly malicious, I didn't know for sure what he was attempting to do. My wife and my well being are number one, so it's good to hear that wasn't a concern. I've set us up for tonight at this point. So that's crazy to know because we've gone to Mexico a couple times. Now I need to know extra careful, extra
Yeah.
vigilant because apparently this happens a lot. But I guess I need to look at this article later to see like what area of Mexico maybe it's common in. I don't know. But yeah. Someone said, "This happened to my best friend and her husband too. They got drunk at the day bar, went back for a nap, and then had a literal word for word match to your situation. So messed up." And OP said, "Thanks for sharing. I was kind of hoping someone would comment that they've experienced similar. It proves some comfort." And the person come back. It is so scary to think about though, because you truly never know what their intention was. They went to the desk and complained about it, and the staff said they had no idea what he was talking about, but they both saw the worker there in his uniform and had remembered him from the check-in the day before. Super weird. Ew.
Yeah, that's the thing is sometimes it could be like the workers and stuff.
Yeah,
Like that is so weird.
it is. It really is. And it's like at least people, the OP was posting, at least their people seem to take it seriously that worked at this hotel. And it sounds like this person, those people were like, I don't know, trying to make it crazy. And it's kind of like played it off.
Yeah.
Like at least he ended up somewhere at least decently good that like, at least they seem like they're taking it seriously. I hope they're taking it seriously, but can you imagine going somewhere and they kind of just make you feel crazier? That would suck,
Yeah.
dude.
That's why I need one of those door things. I haven't invested in one yet, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
honestly, I
that's
should
what
for how many hotels we stay in.
facts. That's what this comment just said. Maybe get one of those portable hotel bars. I can't
Mhm.
think of the proper name that you can install on the door to keep it from opening.
I think
You
it's
can
called
find
like,
it on Amazon. I pack one of them now in my luggage, and I can't believe I never used one before. It's small.
hmm
And
I
OP
think
said
they're just called door jammers.
something like that. I think so.
Hmm
Shouldn't be hard to look up when you're finding it, but
Yeah.
OP did say, I definitely heard of those and good looking out. I'll keep it in mind for the future. Someone also said, I always travel with a door alarm, a secondary locking device, lots of products on Amazon. Also, there are some great videos on YouTube showing how to secure the latch from tampering with with a small towel. Some use wires under the door to grab the latch and flip it open. Lots of tricks thieves use to gain access to a room while you're inside. So yeah, I mean, you can't always trust the pushover lock. I mean, some are now getting that new one that like you it's harder to like flip, but not a lot of hotels have it yet. I think it's the ones that like just like flat. It's like flat, but it's like
Yeah.
hardcore. It's like more like locking. So
But yeah, I've seen those videos though where they like stick the thing up and they're like,
yeah, they're a big fear. I watch a lot of them,
I watch a lot of them.
but
I
they
watch
make
too
it.
many of them.
I watch. I was just about to say I watch a lot of them and maybe too much because they really freak me
They
out.
really freak me out.
And like when I sleep at hotels or Airbnbs or anything that's like not my house, I'm always like half asleep because I'm always like,
Uh-huh.
if I hear something, I'm alert
Me too.
because I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I'm about to wake up
Uh-huh.
and start
Well, because
fighting for my life.
even one time we were in Vegas and like I just hear like someone kind of jiggled the door.
Hmm.
And I mean, I'm sure they're probably just drunk and that's why I never come back. They just eventually left. They probably realized I had the wrong door.
Yeah.
But I woke up going, someone's trying to get in. Someone's trying to get in.
Facts. That's when we went to Vegas for our one friend's birthday when she turned 21.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept hearing people like wiggling her doorknob. And I was like, I'm pretty sure this is drunk people. Because then, like, so a couple of them you'll hear, that's not our door. But a couple of them you don't.
Yeah.
And I just like, but I'm still just so alert that I'm like,
Me too.
I'm wide awake for that
I'm not,
10 minutes, like, making sure, I gotta make sure there's nobody coming in
I
this
might be
room.
drunk too, but I'm ready to fight.
Silent, I'll be ready to fling these fists around. I'm about to put the paws on them.
I'm cold for
Yeah.
you because I can't feel nothing.
Exactly. Oh man. Yeah, man. Always be ready to fight, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. No, we ain't got Wi-Fi here.
Exactly.
All right, this one's from Ask Reddit, and it was posted by Reptilian Zen. And their question was long haul truck drivers. What's the creepiest slash most paranormal thing you've ever seen on the road at night? Top one is by Pirate Fredder. Maybe a bit off the mark, but it still scares the crap out of me. I was headed west on I-76 here in Denver, just cruising along about 70 miles per hour. Out of nowhere, I saw a massive, almost solid cloud of what looked like to be dirt coming at me. I'd say it was at least 20 feet wide, 10 feet tall. I scanned ahead of me, but couldn't see any vehicles it could have came from. With nowhere to go, I slowed down and took the hit, hoping there wasn't anything big enough in there to come through my windshield or jack up my truck. It was pretty loud as I smashed through it. The instant it hit, I knew it wasn't dirt though. I immediately hit the washers because I couldn't see a darn thing through all the carnage. My windshield was painted with guts. Turns out it was bees. Freaking huge bees. It sounded like rocks when they hit. I can't even imagine seeing that swarm if I was walking. They could kill the crap out of me. Anything in their path.
Ew. First off, makes me think of 911 when they had the B Nada. But second, that's so creepy. Like, I guess in 911, I don't know if it's true, but they do say like a lot of bees like start to group together because they can hear each other, whatever. But like, I've also heard things of like, I don't know if they're true either, but I've also heard things that like sometimes when like something either like a natural disaster or even just something like weird in the air, it like groups different animals together or insects. They all just clamp together because they're like survival of like
Yeah.
numbers.
Hive
And so
mentality.
like yeah. And it like happens with every insect and animal. Like if something's happening, whether it be natural disaster or it's just something creepy like coming through, like they always group. So it's just like weird to like know they group there. I wonder if it's like they're just grouping because they're already a big group, or are they grouping because of something else on that road, which is
Yeah.
creepier to think that way. So I'm hoping for the first one, but you never know.
I'm also glad they just like hit your windshield because like that's my fear is like I think it's Pretty Little Liars where A sends all those bees into Arya's mom's car.
Oh,
And she's
yeah,
in
they
a
go in the
car of
vents.
bees and she's ah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could imagine they all like swarmed into your car through the
Yeah,
vents.
man. Fact.
Ah.
I wonder if he has his vent thing closed. Cause like, yeah, when you have that thing where it like circulates there is usually when they pull in the most.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if he's it off just because he's a long haul trucker.
Yeah.
I bet you do hit like dust patches. I wonder if he has it closed, or maybe he didn't. Just somehow he just missed them all. But
Also might not circulate with all the stuff that they put off the trucks. But
maybe.
I would I know? What do I
Yeah,
know?
I don't know anything about that. But yeah, can you imagine though they start coming in? Shoot, because you probably get a lot of ink since they're so grouped.
He had a couple
Ooh.
comments to that one say, "Hi, I'd like to buy the movie plot for this from this."
Honestly though,
And another person said, "Ha, right? Great B movie material."
Dad. Yeah, Barry B. Benson should be in that one. That should be a second role.
All right, another comment. Semi-related. I bought a new car several months ago and had to drive the 395 from Reno to Vegas to get it. Damn lack of deals in Nevada. Trip down was fine, but headed back north. It was later in the day when we left, and it was dark by the time we got to Walker Lake Reservation. Late summer, pitch black at 10 p.m., and little do I know that the lake is known for midge swarms. I thought it started sprinkling rain as we rounded the bend, but soon started pumping my windshield wash as fast as I could, as my windshield was plastered with thousands of midges in gigantic swarms over the road. Slowed down 40 miles per hour to 20, as the visibility was poor at best, for a good 2 mile stretch, seemingly endless bug apocalypse. I ran out of windshield wiper fluid near the end of it. It was so bad. I had to drive 15 miles to the next town, barely able to see. I had my sister-in-law with me, and I'm fairly certain it was the scariest moment of both of our lives. Don't go to Walker Lake in the summer after dark, yo. Place apparently gets spiders so bad in summer bushes, like wads of webbing. Also, so much for my new car being detailed. I'm fairly certain the garage still stinks of bug guts after the power washing, and there's still guts hidden in crevices of that car. Had a picture, but not on this phone, lol.
Dang. That guy's a midge. Is it like a gnat? Or is it like
I was thinking kind
like
of
a
like a
water
fly,
bug?
maybe.
Like I'm kinda confused what it would be. But while you're looking that up, that's disgusting. All these bug ones are gnar. That's like one of the grossest things. I mean, I guess luckily they're in cars, but imagine if you had to walk through those. Ugh. I don't mind bugs. I don't mind being outside in bugs, but to have a swarm of bugs
Yeah,
and they're just keep hitting you is disgusting.
they're just gnats.
Okay, so that's what I thought it
Just
might be.
another name
When
for
they're
them.
by like a water source, it kind of gave me like gnat vibes. But yeah, to imagine just going through those bugs and just hearing them splat on your windshield, like, ugh, no, I can't do like ASMR stuff, and like to
Mm-mm.
have to listen to that, really gross. But also, that's nuts. For 2 miles is insane.
Yeah,
Jesus, Jenny, that's crazy. I wonder if it's just because it's so moist there, or if it's something else. Like, there's so many questions about it. But you would think moisture if it's like because it's near night. I don't know. But think of the spider one. Oh, those look so cool, but so creepy. All the spider webs on things. When it's like that, when it's like Australia shows it too, where like they have like certain times of year
mm-hmm.
where it's just like covered in webs, so it looks like all spooky, and it's kind of really cute. I kind of love it, but like I don't want to like be there because I don't want to deal with a spider. That's creepy. I don't like spiders, but it is cool looking. I would like to see it up close in person, but I don't want to actually do
Yeah, dude.
it.
Okay, we got a couple more. Well, I'm not a truck driver, but a motorcyclist, which kind of makes it even more spooky. Drove home from my girlfriend's house, just a 20-minute ride, but it was 3 a.m. and the road goes through a forest without any streetlights. So I ride through the forest, already giving everything my little 50 ccm dirt bike had in it back then, and suddenly on the side of the road, A fucking naked mannequin is standing. I saw it appear in my headlights and drove by it, only doing 60 kilometers. It was scary as hell. A fucking mannequin standing there naked on the side of the road in a forest at 3 a.m. in the morning. Damn, I still get shivers. Yeah, it freaked me out.
Yeah, that's spooky. And yeah, honestly, being a motorcycle is creepier just because it's like right there then.
Yeah.
Like at least the trucker, you're like up high and like there's a lot more car. So like even if there's somebody there, like they can't
Yeah,
like
if that
hurt
was an
you.
actual person, they're coming for you.
Yeah, and like they try to throw something at your wheel or something to like stop you or do something, like at least you're safe. But like a motorcyclist, like you're not
Mm-hmm.
that safe. Like that's spooky. But it also makes me that true crime doc we listen to for the guy with the mannequins in like in his pool room, whatever. He's like killing those people. It's the vibes it gives me, and I don't like it.
Another
Don't like it.
Another one, I picked up Hitchhiker in small Nissan Versa sedan, and we were driving down the freeway. There was a big vehicle in front of me, so I couldn't see what was in front of that when all of a sudden the other guy started yelling, "Tire, tire!" and pointing ahead of us. I slammed on my brakes just in time to see an SUV in front of us swerve too late as the car in front of it swerved as his massive tire was just rolling down the freeway, demolished the front end of the vehicle in front of me, and bounded high into the air, coming down in front of my car where the steel band broke and stopped rolling. If I hadn't slammed on brakes, it probably would have come down on top of me. He got out at the next gas station. I don't remember his name, but I think he saved my life that day.
That's crazy. Good person for getting a hitchhiker. I'd be too nervous because I've seen a lot of things about it. But nice person. But also, good karma was coming out for you
Mm-hmm.
because he helped you save your life. Because that is nuts. Can you imagine? And to take out someone's car means it moves fast. So it means if it hit you, they're so saving you.
Yeah, dude.
That's insane, though.
Okay, I'll read this one last one
Yeah.
because it seems like it might be about Bigfoot.
Oh, I like a Bigfoot.
A good friend of mine told me this story years ago. He is the stereotypical old big bad trucker. I've seen some weird stuff with him while driving in South Texas along the border. He never batted an eye, but while telling me the story, he had goosebumps and a concerned expression, which from this guy is about the equivalent of trembling lip and shit stained pants. I'll tell the story in the first person as he told it to me. Years ago in the late 90s, I was on my way from the house, Central Texas, heading to Laredo to pick up a load. It was early in the morning, around 4 or 5. I had just come off a string of days at home, so I know I wasn't tired. I am on one of those two-lane winding roads in the absolute middle of bumfuck nowhere. When I see something on the side of the road at the edge of my high beams. At first I just thought it was some roadkill, as it usually is the case. As I get closer, I see that the roadkill and there's someone crouching over the deer carcass. I remember thinking either this guy is taking the antlers as a trophy or he's fucking sick. As I got closer, still I can now see that this guy eating the fucking deer. He's pulling chunks of meat from the stomach and bringing them up to his face. At this point, he stops mid motion and looks up at me. Not at my truck, but at me. He/it stands up, and that's when I see that this thing is fucking huge, brown, and covered in hair. I remember thinking at this point, oh, fuck. This thing is standing on the tiny shoulder looking at me. By this point, maybe 3 seconds have passed, and I'm about to point in the road he's standing at. I didn't even think of stopping. In fact, I'm starting to lay on it and get the hell out of there. As I'm passing it, it's looking at me. Again, not the truck. It's looking through the driver's side windshield at me. He obviously has the intelligence to know that there's a driver in here and knows where I'm sitting. I can see it's all head above the hood of. As I start to pass him, I can still see its head above the hood of an old needle nose Pete. Old truck design where the hood goes straight out from the windshield. Known for being tall and difficult to see around, this thing is a fucking giant. I remember seeing what looked like human intelligence in its eyes. It scares the shit out of me. Sorry for all the wall of text. It's a story worth sharing, though.
Crazy. Cool experience, because it does sound like Bigfoot. Cool experience. I don't think I would want it.
No.
I think if I ever had a Bigfoot experience, I wouldn't want that one. Because one, you're watching it eat that thing, and that's crazy. I don't think I can watch that. I think it'd be sick. I think I'd be sick. But two, to have everybody be looking at you and looking in your soul, no thanks. No dog. I'd rather not notice you once.
Yeah, but at the same time, if it's gonna notice me, I'd rather be in a giant truck.
No, facts. Okay, yeah, honestly. You don't want it to be on a motorcycle. You definitely don't want to be on a bike. You definitely want to be on a motorcycle. And
Yeah.
you would want it to be a car, but you want it to be a bigger car. But if it's going to be anything, I'd rather be a big truck.
Yeah.
Like
I
that. A
don't
big
want to
long
catch it
haul truck.
randomly in the woods either.
No.
So I mean, I guess it's
So I
not
guess plus
it's
the
not a
ones,
great thing to see it
no, it's a
eating,
crazy sight
but
to see and how it stares your soul.
yeah,
But that's true. You
it
wouldn't want it
is
to be in
it is a
person,
little bit
on
of
foot and stuff.
yeah, it
So,
is a little bit like best case scenarios.
yeah. But
Someone replied to him saying, "I've been scrolling through this thread for 45 minutes and I've seen a lot of similar stories about some 8-foot figure who looked like Bigfoot with human intelligence. And here's the catch: they all say it was in Laredo.
that's crazy. So maybe we should go to Laredo.
We've been to Laredo, and I
But no,
don't
but we
wanna.
should drive it. I wanna catch a glimpse. I need to catch a glimpse, but I don't wanna like have this. But I wanna catch a glimpse of this bad boy.
I don't know.
You're
I
telling
don't
me never
know.
in your life you don't want to catch a glimpse of a cryptid. And if it's gonna be a cryptid, I'd rather be one of these instead of something like spooky like Black Eyed Kids or like a duende. You want it to be something like scary but like somewhat okay, like a Bigfoot.
Maybe.
You don't want it to be like the cryptid we are main cryptid here.
I don't know. I don't know if I ever want to meet a cryptid. I just told you this last time.
Yeah,
If I
because you
meet a
told me
cryptid,
you're.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna die.
Yeah, but you go in, drive into the radio, knowing full well that you like count your days. Like it might happen,
Dude,
but
if
at
we're in
least
our bug, it's just gonna
yeah.
pick our car
But
up.
like, imagine. So you have a story. Like you can be like, "Oh, I died like on the toilet," or you can say, "I died because Bigfoot attacked
What
me."
am I gonna be saying it? I'm dead.
Well, someone's gonna write in your obituary, "She died meeting Bigfoot." Like that's kind of gangster though.
She died trying to meet Bigfoot in the tiniest car in the world.
We not sure if she met Bigfoot, but her car was crushed in half. Gang,
And something ate her guts out.
gang. That's
Girl,
a
come
good.
on now.
That's a good obituary though. That's gangster. They're gonna
Okay,
make a
I'll
movie
write
about
it
you.
for you.
They'll make a
After
true story
I'll
about
write
you.
it for you after you do this.
Okay.
I'll make sure that
One day
that you
me
have
and
a story
Renko will
for you.
go and drive over.
Mm.
Me and my dog will be talking to it, man.
Mm.
Yeah, he'll tame Bigfoot.
Yeah, he's gonna be what's his name from Anchorman?
Yeah,
Baxter.
Baxter. He's gonna be Baxter. He's gonna be out there taming them wild things.
Baxter. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Good one.
All right, so this is gonna be our last one. It's gonna be from Paranormal, and it's posted by Ginger Nut Ranger. This happened 5 years ago, and I'm only ready to talk about it now. Hey there, this experience happened when I was 21, 5 years ago. It's something that has played on my mind since, but never talked about. I went to dinner with my friend from university. Let's call her Amy. We had one glass of wine each for dinner. I was staying at her house that night, and by the time we got back, I was totally sober. It was one glass of wine with dinner, anyway. I never felt tipsy. Amy was in her in suite brushing her teeth, and I was laying down in her double bed on my side, facing the bathroom that Amy was in. All of a sudden, this very distinct feeling of a hand with nails going down my back, from the back of my neck to my bottom. It felt like it felt like a real hand. I could feel the long nails of all the fingernails, and it tickled in the same way a person's hand would. I spun around in shock, faced the side of the bedroom, and for a split second, I saw a tall, middle aged man facing me with his eyes boring into mine. It was the most uncomfortable, unnatural, thing I've ever felt. He was perfectly aligned with the far wall of the bedroom. I saw him about 5 meters away, so no explanation for the human hand scratching down my back. I was crying and shouted out for Amy, even though she was just next door. I told her what happened. I was super emotional at this point, and she started crying. I asked her why, and she told me that she felt like someone had been watching her from across the corner of the room for months. She even showed me texts to her boyfriend where she told him she was struggling to sleep because she felt like she was being watched. A well known male serial killer, in London at least, that preyed on young men used to live 2 doors down from Amy's house. I didn't know this until I looked it up afterwards. It's taken me years to process this because of how real it was. I felt the hand scratch me. I saw the man. This stuff is real.
That's freaking me out. I was freaking out even more because my headphones started to static at the end. I don't know why. I don't
Yeah,
know if it's the story, but no, thank you.
yeah.
I couldn't imagine. First off, I was shaking, like I could feel the hand on my back the
Oh,
whole
yeah, I
time.
know. It gives me chills.
And then to turn around and see a dude staring at you.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But that's what I'm saying though. That friend was crying because she was so relieved someone actually saw and believed her. That's what I'm saying. I just need somebody else to experience it with me. But yeah, 'cause that way we could do that. Cry together. Just gotta cry together.
Exactly. Get it
And
out.
then yeah, and then do the research together to figure out who's messing with me.
Yeah.
That is so crazy. It's just a serial killer ghost. No, thank you.
Yeah, the other one was actually weird and creepy. That's why I'd be touching on your back. Ugh, can you imagine?
Yeah, dude. That's why I don't understand how some people like live and stay in the H homes in Chicago in that
Yeah.
place.
Or even people who just like seek out homes and buy homes that people have been murdered or like where serial killers used to live. And like people search that out and like want to live in those places. They
Yeah.
like spooky. No,
No.
pass. I'm good. I don't even want to live in the same neighborhood.
Mm-mm. Thank you.
No, thank you. Pass. Hard.
I
Hard
don't even
pass.
go to haunted places. Well, it's a lie. I do go to haunted
I was
places.
gonna say we've been on it places,
I,
so I mean that's already yeah. But I wouldn't say the night at them.
but we did say a night one. The clown motel.
Oh yeah, we did, huh?
God, we're just a bunch of liars
Damn, we're the
today.
worst. Yeah, dude, we're not standing on our word, my guy. Except for the clown motel's never been fully said it's haunted. They
They did.
say
They said
more.
room one is haunted, and they just haven't proved any of the other rooms.
Okay, yeah, they've ever done the rooms, but they have proved the cemetery. They haven't really proved much of room yet. I mean, did we pretty much feel something and have something happen to us? Yes. Did I hear someone talking in my ear and wake me up?
Yeah.
Yes. But, you know,
And then also,
it is what
I
it is.
had that experience in New Orleans where that ghost was messing with me.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard not to say New Orleans and
Yeah,
not have an
I know.
experience.
I'm saying we're kind of liars.
Yeah.
We stayed in haunted
We kind of do
places.
seek it out. And we did go on the haunted tour there in New Orleans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't.
Okay,
I
well,
don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I don't call them out. I would never do a Ouija board. I'll
but
say
I
that.
do, I guess, go places. I try not to go to haunted places for like if I'm not expecting and wanting to be something haunted, so I can protect
Yeah,
my heart and soul to keep it
but
from being
also,
like taken over or like have anything latch onto me. I try to take
yeah,
those precautions. I wouldn't be going to someone's house that was like a serial killer live by. If
yeah.
I've tried to make sure I don't. I mean, can't say I won't because you never know.
If someone
Can't be
says
looking at every serial
if someone
killer.
says violent ghost, I'd probably avoid that place.
Yeah.
But I mean, it didn't sound like she knew. It sounded like once
No,
they
yeah.
researched it, now she knows.
Well, because the friend also just seemed like she thought she was going crazy, but she just texted her boyfriend. She
Yeah.
was like, "It's just weird. I feel like someone's watching me."
Feel
Yeah,
like
man.
somebody's watching me. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. But someone commented, I believe you. I have seen things and I cannot explain, and nobody seems to believe me. Or they just think it's in my head and I imagined it. I recently saw a black and white cat walk across the windowsill in in my partner's bathroom. He doesn't have a cat. He's scared of them. and there was no way a cat could have been in the house. It jumped down towards the sink by the doorway, and when I ran in there to check it, wasn't there. There was no cat in the bathroom. Nobody believed me when I told them. They all just thought I imagined it. Why would I randomly imagine that though? It was clear as day. Similarly, I saw a figure float into a wall when I was walking towards my parents' house. This was the house next door to them. I absolutely freaked. I was with my brother at the time and he didn't see it, even though we were both looking ahead. He told me off for trying to scare him. I saw it though. What's worse is that my mom informed me that the next door neighbor had unalived himself and they had the police around to ask them if they had any information about it earlier that day. I had absolutely no idea. It was spooky.
Yeah, that's freaky.
Yeah.
I don't mind the cat one. I've heard a lot of cat ghost stories.
Uh-huh.
I
Or
kind of,
animals.
yeah, kind of like them because, I want my dogs to come and visit me.
Yeah.
So, like, I believe you, girl, and I wish I could see something like that. That's the kind of ghost I'm okay getting visited by. To see maybe your newly dead neighbor walk into a wall. No, thank you.
Yeah, dude.
No, thank you. No, thank you. I'll pass on that one. I'll take the animal. I'll pass on that one.
Yeah, that's freaky, dude. Can you imagine? And like you don't even know they're dead, so you're just like saying this.
Yeah.
Ugh. And they have probably some kind of like paranormal seeing because their brother didn't see and they're looking the same direction.
Yeah, some
So they have like some
sensitivity.
kind of sensitivity. That's the word I was looking
hmm
for, sensitivity. But
I'm glad, like, I gotta have some because I've seen them as kids. But besides New Orleans, I really haven't seen any as an adult. And I'm hoping that's because I'm not as sensitive anymore. Unless it's
mhm,
just I haven't been in enough paranormal
places,
places.
yeah. Fingers
But I'm
crossed, my
I'm
God. Fingers
hoping it's
crossed.
just I lost the ability.
I mean, I have seen them as adults. I also saw some in the college. So I mean, that's not that long ago for me. So
Yeah.
like 4 years ago was the last time. But fingers
I mean,
crossed, I'm done.
I've seen shadow people there, but a lot of people see shadow people.
I
It's
mean,
not like
yeah.
it's
So
not
shadow person, but it
ghost
also
ghost.
attacked me. So
I guess that's true
double
too.
whammy for me, my
Yeah,
guy.
that would actually be worse.
Yeah, it grabbed in my chest and grabbed my heart. So double
Yeah.
whammy for me, my
Yep.
guy. He
Definitely
didn't
worse.
want me. But someone said we had a cat ghost growing up. When I was about 7, I said to my mom, I see black cats. And I still remember the look of shock on her face. And then we found out that pretty much everyone who had ever come over had at one point also see the little black ghost kitty. I now have a ghost cat tattoo in honor of that little spirit.
That's cute.
Yeah.
That's cute.
And
That's what
someone
I'm
even
saying. I'll take a ghost
yeah,
cat.
a ghost that's kind of cute because even another person said it's funny I'm reading comments about ghost cats when I just seen one in my bathroom. I've experienced worse paranormal things though, so I know this stuff is real. The cat thing happened to me half an hour ago, 4 a.m. Weird, but I enjoyed it and glad it happened. LOL. Yeah, we've had weird things or bad things happen. So, like, a little cat ghost would be kind of cute. Like, I'm not a fan of cats per se, but a cat ghost, I wouldn't be mad about. I wouldn't be mad about a cat over a regular ghost too either. But
Yeah.
yeah. But a lot of people do have a lot of pet ones. A lot of people are commenting on that one of pets,
Cute.
which is interesting. So then another person asks, so what happened? Did you still end up staying the night next to the weird fingernail ghost? Does your friend still live there? And has she experienced more? And the person said, I stayed there that night, although I didn't get any sleep. My friend didn't either. She doesn't live there anymore. It's her grandparents' house. The third floor is still her bedroom slash bathroom, and she goes back for holidays, but that's about it. You couldn't pay me to stay there again. Yeah,
Yeah,
you wouldn't
same.
catch me back. I'm surprised they stayed there that night, but I guess if you were just like already planning to stay there, I guess you'd probably still stay there. But I don't know. I'd probably figure out a way to get out of there.
Yeah, I'd be like, sorry, girl. I know you said I was gonna stay, but I can't.
I
I
can't.
just
And maybe you should
can't.
go with me because that's a no for me.
Yeah, I think we should just both leave
Yeah.
together
And not come back.
and never come back. I don't care if it's your grandparents' house. Let's never come back.
Exactly.
Yep.
Someone commented, I wonder if you were to look up the serial killer and find a photograph, if you could discern if it were the same man you saw or not, or perhaps a victim? This is a fascinating story. OP said, I did do this, and it wasn't the same man I saw. I do wonder if that dark history could have attached certain things, though. It for sure creeped me out when I learned it. So,
Yeah, plus the man could have not been the person who touched your back. He
mhm.
could have been the one warning you.
Yeah, it could have been warning you, or like they said, it could have been a victim.
Yeah.
Or it could be somebody else, I guess, around there too, honestly. But yeah, creepy. Someone said, if it wasn't the same man, why did you say that? I would love if you were to get the police sketch artist to draw him. You could put it up and ask, does anyone know him? Did he look real for those few moments, or was it more like a vision? What type of clothes, if any, was he wearing? I've just heard when horrible things like that happen, it can attract stuff. I wasn't saying it just seemed like there's I wasn't saying it just seemed like that's who I'd seen was a really solid apparition, as if a real man stood there. Don't remember the clothes well enough to give colors, as I was too fixated on the face and eyes. But no crazy clothes, just dark trousers and shirt. And the person said perhaps she included that because a serial killer, he may have unlived his victims doors away. Which, yeah, I mean, it is good to just hear because, like, that evil just like that brings entities towards it. But then also, like, they're saying, like, it could have been the victim too. It could have been anybody. Like, it could have been a victim warning you about a serial killer nearby. It could have been anything.
Yeah.
You never know. Or it could just be another spirit that got, just, could have just been another spirit that got pulled there because of, like, all the bad negative energy in there around that whole neighborhood.
I
But,
don't know, but it's freaking me out. But luckily, like, this is what's gonna help me sleep tonight, so hopefully help somebody else. The fact that I keep picturing her looking back and the person staring at her is Fester from Addams Family.
I'm done.
And in my head, to make it, more happy and like, haha, is like when she looks back, he just goes, Gabby!
Dad, buddy!
So
Dad.
that's the
I
only
mean, she
thing that's
just
gonna,
has hair and stuff. So my thing, like to make myself better, was to tell myself it's Bruno from Encanto. He's hidden in the walls, so that's how he disappeared too. He just
yeah.
goes back into the shadows. I cannot talk about Bruno, but I like the Debbie. Fester's the best Adams Family. So just feel that. Yeah, there's a few other questions. OP is very like talkative on this one. So if everybody wants to go read their people ask different questions about different things about it. So it's definitely a good one to go look at the comment section on that. But that's all for today. What's kind of your takeaways today from all the stories that we've had between our like different our two different not do not meet, our ghost story, our no sleep, and ask Reddit and our paranormal we've had today.
I don't know. My takeaway always is just like, no, 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 no.
Yeah, I felt.
I like spooky. I don't have any takeaways. I'm just scared of it all.
Yeah, my guess, my big takeaway: don't go to Laredo, Texas, unless you maybe want to see a Bigfoot. Which,
Yeah,
like, maybe you do, cause like kinda,
but no.
but like kinda not, but
But
kinda
mostly
yes,
not.
but like a little bit
No.
maybe, but like a
No.
sprinkle of no, but like a hint of yes.
No.
But also, if your parent dies and they give you VHS tapes, that might have been a fake story, but just don't watch them. Maybe
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, don't give me some creepy, sketchy
Yeah.
VHS tapes.
We just are
Also,
just,
VHS is out, people. I'm not watching the VHS tape.
yeah, facts.
Uh,
It better
but
be on like a DVD.
at least,
You better record it on your phone and send it over to me through like email.
yeah,
Literally anything
at least a
else. Airdrop
DVD
it.
I can watch on like a PS, whatever,
Yeah, like an Xbox or something like that.
Xbox or something for now. But
Literally anything. VHS just gives spooky vibes. It
it
just
gives spooky.
gives haunted. It just gives
And then
murder.
after you finish that creepy video, then it does a pops out thing.
Yeah. And then you feel like you're about to get a phone call. 7 days.
Yeah,
I have 7
literally.
days. No, thank you. Pass. Next. Yeah.
Anyways, that's all we have for you today. Maybe comment if you would go to Laredo, Texas to see a Bigfoot. If not, what's a cryptid you would go out of your way to go find if we found stories of where you can find them.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's kind of it. Bye.
Have a good one. Bye. Thanks for joining us.